What brand is that drill? That's a cordless drill, but whose is it? Black and Decker?
Makita. We consider it the best
Black
one.
and Decker, Sears has got one.
This one we like because it can go like how many days?
We can go a whole weekend
A
without
whole
recharge.
weekend without having to recharge it.
And how do you spell that? M-A-K?
M-A-K-I-T. We have a series of stores called Home Depot
Yeah.
where you can buy these. I don't know if that's up here, organization's up here or not, but it is a wonderful drill.
What is it? Is that a 3/8 or what?
3/8. 3/8. Cordless.
Some of them you only go like a half an hour or an hour.
Yeah.
Then they got to be
Recharge.
recharging
You
now.
know,
So.
you're in the
They,
middle of something, it's annoying.
They run about $120, $130.
For the Makita, but it's well worth it if you're going to be doing it.
Yeah.
Also, if you're going to use liquid nails, I meant to tell you, for applying your plant, it's not expensive. It's like 99 cents a tube or something like that. And it has been tested by various members of the Bromeliads Society. There was an article in one of our journals where they tested a lot of different kinds of glues and methods, and they found liquid nails to be the least damaging of any. You may, oh, well, I was wanting to finish what I was going to say on the liquid nail. It dries up fast once you open a tube, so if you're going to use it and have several projects, try to do them all at the same time, because it's not apt to hold very much longer. You'd have to
Last. Too long.
get a fresh
What I
tube.
usually do, I open up the tube, then I take a nail and put in the end of it with a head on it to clog up over the hole.
Sealed.
And that seals off, and it'll last a while, but it
Won't stay very long.
don't stay forever. You can keep it for about a week, 2 weeks before it starts hardening up. But then when the tip hardens up on that, you can cut the tube off shorter and try to get it out. And it usually
From
does
the
come
end,
out.
you might get some.
You get some more out of it, but not too much.
This is a little table-mounted piece.
Now here's your
Right on
little
table.
bracket across here. I just tied a knot in the string here. And I'll try to do this. Whoops. It's not hooked on. Look at that.
This way, you can, once it's rooted on to the wood, you can take this cord off, or wire, or whatever.
Oh, really? It'll root
It'll
out?
run and stay
It'll run
right
and stay
on,
right
and
on
stay
there.
right on there by itself without any. This is just to hold it there until the roots
Till
form.
it gets itself caught, till it
Yeah.
roots, and then once it's rooted,
Now with my big fingers, I don't know if I can tie this or not. That's why I use liquid nail.
Well, this is a method that is very useful in some cases. It's,
Especially if you get a big tube down the end, ball on the end of it, and it's hard to do anything
a
with.
big tillandsia like a Zero Graphica or something that's real
Real
big
bulky
tube.
at the bottom. This is the best way to go at it.
Holds them up.
Well, I didn't put a hook on it, so you can't even hang it up. Well, I'll show you how we do that too. Where are they at? Oh, here they are. Now you go out and buy some little tiny fence staples. Little staples.
That's what we like. You can use anything you want. These work nicely.
Drive to the back. And we're going to make a hook. This is called hanger wire. It's pretty heavy wire.
in the wire?
Hanger.
They come in, they
Yeah, for
come in.
hanging these ceilings.
Yeah, oh,
It's pretty heavy wire.
And they come in those 6-inch, it's about a...
No, they come in 12-foot pieces.
Oh, I see, you cut it into those
I just
pieces.
cut it in 6-inch pieces,
Okay.
6, 7-inch pieces. Take your pliers and grab a hold of the end of it like that, and make a U. Now you get the other end, and you wrap it around there like that. There's your hook. Hang it up.
Very simple.
Now you take and put it through your nail here on the back. You take your pliers and you clench it right to your piece of wood.
Oh,
So there it is, it's hanging. If it had something behind there to hold the bottom of it.
Yeah.
On these,
And this big one here, that's mounted here, is drilled and wired on too.
see the pups coming off the bottom.
See the pups
right?
coming off the bottom here?
Well, it's the next,
You gotta
the
do
new
some more
plant.
flowers.
I got one that's about 2 years old at home, and the plant has bloomed out, and the babies have went around the whole bottom of the piece of wood. It's like a big vase
The
around it.
roots will swirl around.
And the plants are coming, there's about 7 plants on it.
How do you get those plants off? You can take those off and start them again?
Oh yes,
Those are too little yet.
those are too little, they got to get up about here.
Oh, I see.
And they turn into
And then
a
you just go
flower.
down in here and just
How-
They will bloom.
pop them off, and they don't have to have no roots, put them in the soil and that, and they'll take off.
Cut them off with a
Oh,
knife,
isn't it?
right close to the mother. Also on the bottom
Custard.
of this, you don't want your concrete showing. It's not very attractive. You can put anything you want over your concrete. Hanging moss, any kind, yes,
Or gravel.
There's a lot of printed information and talk about the disease you get from handling sphagnum moss. They recommend that you should wear gloves when you use it. And I noticed that you
Or not.
must be immune to it, huh?
If you don't handle too much of it, it don't bother you.
also, we
I go through bales and bales of it, you know, soaking in water and that, and
Yeah, I guess the water
What
helps.
the-
it's after it's wet
It-
that
This one
there-
gets,
it may develop a problem.
you might get a
And
fungus
so
or something.
we don't wet up a whole bunch, too much at a time. We try to have it pretty fresh.
Well, does it get a mold to it?
No,
No, there's some kind of a bacteria that develops and it gives
and
you
that's
sort of
harmful to your skin and that.
a, sort of flu symptoms. And one time I had some breaking out of my arm and I was tested for that because I worked around
If
it.
you have cuts, anything on your hand, you should wear gloves.
But it didn't.
Don't
Yeah, it's always better to
I
wear
mean, don't
gloves.
bother
If
me.
you're going to use it extensively.
Now, as I get
gloves, I
older
think.
now, I used to work in concrete. I could wear no gloves and work in concrete and do it all. Now, I start burning my hands up and everything else working in concrete. Years ago, I didn't bother. Now, this moss may do the same thing as time goes on. That I have to wear gloves.
That planter that you have it in, that is a clay planter, right?
No, that's
That was
plastic.
plastic.
That's a plastic?
Plastic bowl.
You can use clay.
You can use clay.
Well, if you put cement
Anything you
into the clay, can't it expand and pop it, or?
No.
No?
You haven't got that much contraction expansion.
Oh,
And that's
Taking place.
fine.
Might as well get plastic. It's cheaper.
yeah.
Well, it's also unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
Now, see, we didn't do anything on the back.
A
Yeah.
lot of
It
times
could be done.
Yeah, if you
Yeah, we
had it
wanted
in a
to.
corner, in an
Take
area.
big, tall acmeas and put them up here and really make a
Yeah.
big piece if you want to.
Yeah, that's
Work
right.
with it, you
Now at
know.
home, we got more plants that we can use on mountings like that we could do a little more different arrangements.
Chantinis, Acmea chantinis are beautiful on here. The Alberta coyotes with the green and white foliage are beautiful. The one of the most attractive ones we make is with an Acmea angustifolia, and it gets these big berries,
Berries.
blue and white berries, and
Right,
it's just gorgeous on these trees like this. You can go into what you can do. We use the most, right here, the most easily obtainable commercial types. But
And
if
we-
you have a collection of nice acmeas, they're gorgeous.
We do not collect this wood ourselves from mountain. We buy it by the semi-load. And we get everything.
Sure.
Get
Big
all-
pieces, small pieces,
That's
in
right.
between, and
That's
everything
right.
else.
That's right.
Where does this wood come from? I know it's
North
in
Carolina,
Florida.
South
Oh,
Carolina,
North and South Carolina.
Kentucky.
Kentucky, Tennessee,
And it's cypress, you said.
No, red cedar.
Red
Cedar.
cedar.
aromatic cedar.
You
That's
probably,
your
you
cedar
probably could
chestnut.
use some.
I got one out there that's black walnut. That one arrangement out there in the exhibit out there is black walnut.
We do occasionally use cypress.
And we use cypress too.
Slabs we have cut.
This is,
There are some
that's yellow pine.
There are some places in Florida that frown on the use of cypress, especially the cypress knees. For instance, Fairchild Gardens in Miami, you're not allowed to use any cypress wood of any kind.
They will not let you bring anything in to sell that's on cypress.
Because they
Why?
feel it's endangered.
It is endangered. But after they cut it, what's the difference?
Yeah, it's already, it's already,
It's already ruined.
yeah, it's already.
Well, they don't want people going out cutting down.
More,
You'd be
yeah.
surprised where people will come down there to Florida and cut down a whole tree to get one tillandsia out of that tree.
Yep.
And then just leave
Chop the tree down to get it.
So they have to make these kind of rules to offset that kind of.
But these people go on public lands to do this evidently, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's against the law.
But they do it on public land. I mean, they do it where they think no one's gonna see it and it's
No, yeah.
along a roadside or something
Right.
and it's
That's bad.
It's public land. but they-
In Florida, it's against the law to pick any
It's a landscape.
bromeliads out of the trees unless you have the permission of the property owner. Then you can do it. But you are not going to get any permission from any of the government, from any of the parks and the roadsides and things like that. They will not give you permission to do it.
A lot of you people that own property down there will let you go in and,
That would be the only way.
yeah.
Well, questions?
That's about it. I think we all asked already.
I'd like to answer them as we go along.
Here we go.
Things that-
Here we go.
I've got a funny one. How much is that piece that you just completed if you'd sell it to some place like to put in your office or?
Yeah, okay. Let me price this one out. We usually charge on a normal size piece. This one's extra large. We usually charge $25 for the wood and the cement. This one would be about $35. And then it would be the price of the plants. We custom mount plants. People pick out their wood, they pick out their plants, we put it on for them wherever they want, we prepare them. Or you can buy them already prepared like we do it. This would be $35, $45, $55, $65, $70, about $78
Beautiful.
for that piece.
Beautiful. Wow. That's not much.
No, it's really a reasonable price.
Now, we take that same arrangement there
How pretty that looks.
for a show that they're having for, in a, what they call that, where they have a big show for different businesses and stuff.
Oh, yes, for conventions. we'll
Conventions
rent
and that.
these
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of things.
Now, $125 would charge them just for the use of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
just for the use of it.
Delivering it and bringing it, taking it back.
For 2 or 3 days or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 2 or 3 days.
And then
We
bring it
deliver
back
and
and-
take it back. It's $125.
And the flowers
Just
always
for the
look
use.
fresh.
There's $25 for just one plant
And
for them
$25
to
for one
use in
plant.
a convention
That's beautiful.
setting or something.
That's
What are you
better
gonna
than-
do with it now? We'll try and sell it this afternoon or tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll try something. We don't,
We'll take it
just
apart.
matter, take it home.
We ship these too, all over
We
the
ship them all over the
country.
United States.
And the way we do it is he'll make up the tree like this. And then he takes the plants off, leaves the wires. We use wires all the time when we're going to make it for shipping. Leaves
Unless-
the wires on there.
Hold it, honey. Unless, sometimes I take the 2 nails and put in there with the balled up part in the middle, And then we tell them to bend the nails
Oh,
over
yeah.
and punch it down.
You can do it that way.
It can be done that way.
Then we send then we wrap the plants separately, because they do ship better that way, naturally. Because we can fix them tight, and they won't be wiggling around. And then we send a diagram, and all they have to do is reattach the wire.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Works real
Way to
good.
do it.
And then he puts these in big cartons, and he wires the wood to the carton sides, so that's.
You know, just the way it
And
was.
we've just been real fortunate in how well they ship. We've never had any complaint that they didn't arrive, in good condition, so. The only problem, we have to watch size. We usually use UPS, and there is a limitation on size. You
box.
could ship them by truck or something if
Transport.
you don't care how much it costs.
That's true.
What about fertilizing?
Usually,
Spray.
normally you don't fertilize mature bromeliads.
You don't fertilize them at all?
We fertilize the younger plants. Sometimes we will fertilize a plant that's gone out of bloom because we simply want to get more pups from it. But actually, this does not need any fertilizer until you start getting your little
Puff start coming.
baby plants off the bottom. Then we use a liquid, for instance, like Peter's 20-20-20. Very mild solution, and you spray the leaves. We call it foliar feeding. Bromeliads absorb nutrition through their leaves. Their root systems are mainly for attaching to wood, rock, whatever. So they're not really a big feeding root on these plants. That's why they're small. But they absorb it through the through the leaves, and also through the cups. Out in the rainforest, they're going to get bugs in there and leaves, and all of that would be fertilizer for the tree. Yes.
This side, having those plants, is there a preferable light they need, or is it?
Yes, no direct sun. No direct sun. And as bright a light as you could have otherwise. You could go down to, on the plants that we've used here, could be grown in medium light.
Now, how would you keep something like that clean? Now, you said just, if you took it and just put it in your shower, then
That's
you have
one
to
way.
turn it
Spray it.
upside down and
No.
get
No.
that water
No,
out?
by washing, by showering it for 3 or 4 minutes, the cup will wash itself out.
I
You can just
see.
easily dump
The
it.
cup will wash
A little
itself
bit
out?
if you
Yeah.
want. But you want to leave a little in the plants anyway.
Anyway, okay.
And you can mist it in between, especially if you've got heat on. And during the winter, you're going to need a little more humidity. Mist them. Some people mist them daily at that time.
Well, you can use those things in our cups.
You can move this out on your porch and hose it down.
In the summer, not in the middle of winter.
Not here.
Not here anyway.
Yes, sir.
The water product that you mentioned a moment ago.
Yes.
Inside the slag and moss.
Yeah.
What was the name of that product?
Well, there's several names. Water Grabber is one that's on the market. This other one's called Broadleaf. There's one called Agri-Soak. There's several products, and I think you could get it at Kmart.
And some of them
Garden
got
shop.
fertilizer in them.
It has it.
Some of them do.
Yeah, some of them have a little fertilizer in them too, so that's fine. Really,
How is this I've never used sphagnum moss. How is that packed? Is it packed in
It's in
small?
a bale.
you can get small packages at
Can
your
you?
garden store.
You can?
Yes.
It's a
I've never
little
had
pack.
occasion to use it.
And Canadian is usually the type that we use. It's the best. But as we said, you can use burlap too. You could wrap those roots with
You can use your
burlap.
shirt.
Does it act just the same?
Anything. Oh, yeah.
You could, yeah, it just depends on what you want. If you want to don't care too much about what it looks
All
like.
you
Burlap
want-
looks nice.
If you want
Also,
to,
nylon hose, women's,
nylon hose do good. Uh-huh. The only thing you're doing is just covering up the roots. If you would like to, you just put it right on the wood, just unroot it and put it right on there.
you wouldn't
But you have a little bit of trouble getting it on there. You can probably take a stapling gun and staple the roots of the
Yeah.
piece of wood and hold it.
A lot of
But
it's
actually, it
done
don't need to be
for,
covered.
a lot of it's done just for aesthetic reasons.
Right.
But we've had pieces where all the root shows, so people like to see that. And it's all right, too. It's the way they grow.
Or Indiana, we do a lot of, we just put it on a piece of wood and let it go. Or Indiana.
Now, if you
And
buy
then-
that in a plant, like we did, do I water that, spray with water, put it in the tub and spray with water?
Can.
Can't do that, that's what I
You
wanted
can.
to know.
can.
Because I bought that and I bought the other ones. I can spray them with water in the
Uh-huh.
tub. Then
Which,
bring them back out
in
again.
the pots?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
bought
we
them in the
got,
pots.
we bought it in the
Well,
pots from you.
the instructions
From you.
say,
In the pots,
Oh, yeah, the
bromeliads in the
instructions will
pots
tell us
don't need
about
as much watering as they do on wood.
Oh, they
So
do
if
that.
somebody comes in and says, "Oh, I kill all my plants because
Oh,
I
that's
water
what's
them
the
too
best.
much,"
Uh-huh. Okay, that's
they
what I
will
wanted
rot
to
off
know.
right at the base if you keep that soil.
I
You
tell
have that all
them,
day,
I try to
in
sell
other
them
words.
something on wood because the excess water rolls off and they
Well,
can
it's very
pretty
nice
much
to water
water
it
them as
then.
much as they
Yeah.
want.
Yeah,
Main thing is for the roots to get
And it
watered.
won't hurt.
No,
no.
But in the pots, the big
The leaves
plants-
need the water.
Oh, the
The
leaves need
roots
the
are
water.
supposed to be drier.
Oh,
Right?
you just spray the water.
If
It doesn't hurt for the roots to dry out on most
Oh.
bromeliads.
But they just spray the top, that's it, with water. In the top.
You
In
can,
other words, roots
well,
is
water.
what's
You can let them dry out
Let it dry out.
sometimes.
Oh, I see.
About every 10 days.
Uh-huh.
About every 10 days water your plant. When the soil's dry on the bottom, water the whole
But
plant real
idea
good,
is to
that's
wet
it.
the leaves then for the
But
spray.
this not in the center. Because it don't rain in the center of a plant. In other words, when it rains, everything gets wet.
Yeah,
A lot of
the
people say
top
we put the
down.
water right in the center of the plant. And I like to see it rain right in the center of a plant.
Yeah.
When you go out in the rain, you're going to
That's
get
why the
wet.
garden flowers look so pretty, because they get rainwater on top of them.
That doesn't stay. I mean, it's not,
In this climate, you could have your mounted pieces out until frost,
Thanksgiving. Oh,
frost, whenever that is.
Those
It
aren't
could be
garden,
sooner.
you can't put those in the garden at all then.
It was shaded. It was shaded.
If it was
Yeah.
shaded, you
But you
could
can
put
keep
them.
them in the house.
Oh, yeah.
In the sun room or stuff, and you can
Sun
keep
You
them
could
all
plant-
year
you
round.
could take your pot and sink it in the ground, and then when you're gonna have frost, just pull it right up.
Oh, I see.
What do we do with a lot of people, we tell them, in this climate up here, if you want them in your garden, take a pot, a big pot, put it in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Then take your potted plant and set right inside of it. So then when cold weather comes, you grab your plants
grab
up,
up
and you still got your pot in the ground there, so when
so you
spring
can bring
comes,
it back down.
Bring it
Oh,
back.
Oh,
set it
that's
right
an
back in your
idea.
pot.
Sometimes you might get a light frost and not again for another month, you know.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
and another
pretty
thing
good.
about that is,
That's
well,
sad,
this
it looks
plant's
pretty in
not
the
looking
garden.
too good, that's sitting in the pot in the front yard. You want something different out there, you just take it out and change it into a
Well, we're
nice
gonna
one.
be different already.
Just,
Let's hope we
just
grow
make
up.
your arrangement, change it. In other words, you're gonna have company come over and you want a nice looking pot out there?
Just put it
Hey, look at that, we got something new.
instant beauty, sir.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Instant beauty that way.
Yeah, that's interesting to know.
Sometimes people will get a nice piece of wood that'll sit on your table. You might put some greenery, bromeliad greenery on here. Then you can decorate that piece for any
So many
occasion.
things. Yeah,
You can add
little flower in it.
Christmas trinkets. You can add Easter eggs. You can do
Yeah.
put
Isn't that
cut flowers from your yard
Just like this, you can sit in the bathroom on the tank.
and use it as a center piece.
Well, that's
Hibiscus blooms or whatever.
It's so big that ours will look as pretty as that.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
We can
We'll
always
keep them water from the rain and,
Right.
and then in the winter, we just have to spray once in a while then, I
Yep.
suppose, huh?
Plants
that's
like,
about it.
plants like to be together, so if you've got house plants and in the winter,
He's
if you
got
can
enough, I'm getting them for
Couple
my
of them up.
daughter.
put them all,
Yeah.
put them all together in one
Yeah,
place, they
yeah.
help each other,
Yeah,
the humidity.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
not only that, I think they like the company. They
Yeah.
don't like to be
They like their own company.
lonely.
That's
Like
the-
we do in Florida there. We live in Florida, But we still have to go out and gather the plants in when
And
it turns
water them.
cold.
Yeah.
We can get
Or else-
18 degrees.
We
Oh,
get
yeah.
18 degrees.
Do you have a greenhouse or something to put them in?
Yeah, we got greenhouses.
And we do heat, but
And we do heat them.
we heat every
Oh,
winter.
We go below
Greenhouses
40
get heat up
degrees,
too.
we turn on the heat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Because
The last
below
couple
40
winters
degrees,
haven't
most of
been
these
much.
bromeliads will not do nothing but hibernate. So in order to keep them growing, you got to keep the heat up. So we heat.
Well, the instructions came with the flowers, so we don't have
Yeah.
nothing to worry about.
Another day, like a,
Right.
yeah.
Are you're open all year long then down there?
Oh yeah.
In Florida?
That's Kissimmee. We didn't get one of your
It's just like a
cards.
bear. The bear hibernates then.
Yeah.
That's the same way with your plants. As long as you keep them warm, they keep on growing.
We had a
If you let them
wonderful,
cold, they'll stop.
excuse me, we had a real nice experience just recently of going into a rainforest. Something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And to see whole great big trees, just one plant after another, all the way up, blooming and everything was marvelous.
Where was this rainforest?
It was in San Juan.
San Juan, Puerto Rico.
And it was kind of nice because I had a customer who had ordered some plants, and so we brought her plants to her there in San Juan, and that made it kind of extra special for us. But
We
it was
took
a
a boat-
wonderful experience.
We took a boat trip for 7 days, and San Juan, Puerto Rico was one of our stops.
I like
And we
it.
stayed in San Juan, Puerto Rico for, I think it was 8 hours. We rented a car, and went up into the mountains, and came back.
Oh, it's beautiful up there.
It was fun.
It was fun. In other words, we made arrangements when we left here, with the car and everything else, that came, picked us up at the boat, took us out to the airport, got us a car, and took off up into the mountains.
That particular rainforest is protected.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't take, no one can take anything out of
In
that
other words,
rainforest.
it's.
But
yeah.
the ones in South America, it's pitiful.
Oh, yeah. they
They're
say
just
really-
being ruined,
yeah.
3,000 acres a day.
You can see, when we was at the airport, you could look up into the mountains, and you could see the clouds all up in the mountains. We went up in those
The
mountains.
rainforest.
It's beautiful.
In the
isn't it?
clouds.
Beautiful sight.
Had a lot of
It
fun.
was, it's just pitiful the way they're going. We aren't going to have bromeliads and orchids and ferns and palms too much longer.
Well, thank you very much.
Surely.
Hurt me what?
You gave me a Foster hybrid that was unnamed, because I damn if I can remember what the hell it is. Just gave it.
Well, the t-shirt tells it all. Billbridges are beautiful. That's what this program's all about.
T-shirt.
Kind of a peaceful propaganda to persuade plant people and the public to perhaps purchase and possess the premier plant, privately preferred.
Okay, I got them on down here now. Maybe that's what you got to do.
Okay, I think that might have been what the problem was. But we're okay. Let me try something up here now.
Okay. Now I went off down here.
That's okay.
Okay.
We'll see. He said he knew how to do this morning before the lady left. You thought we There you go.
Hey. Now the picture knows how. Now it'll be.
He's got it. He got it made now.
Maybe. Looks like I may have to move this baby back.
Nah, you're fine.
I don't get the whole thing in the field of vision.
Oh.
It's got to go back. Stop.
Well, the t-shirt tells it all. Billbridges are beautiful. That's what this program's all about. Kind of a peaceful propaganda
To get it tomorrow.
to persuade plant people and the public to perhaps purchase and possess the premier plant, privately preferred by the privileged.
It's
I
all right
live in
to
a
laugh
sheet house in
in
Corpus
this
Christi,
thing.
Texas. Inside that are mostly bilbergias and a token number of the other genera that I grow in order to keep me humble. I've been trying to collect, grow,